Alright, in this video I'll quickly show you a step which will be super helpful to the people who delve with code and use org mode in Emacs to make their code apparent on the org mode file. Okay, so it's a quick and easy way, so it saves some of your typing and time too. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain you, let me show you. Let me get into my Emacs. Okay, let me open up a file. Okay, I have already a file, so don't worry about what is written here. Okay, so let me get rid of it so you'll not get distracted by it. Okay, so here I'm in a blank org file. So for instance, I want to write some code and I want the org file requires some syntactical assessment internally if you put the code block inside some sort of macro predefined. Okay, so for that I have stored 3-4 types of language macro headers. It is called macro headers. For the specific language, code block has to be written inside those block. Okay, so first of all, so I'm in an org file. Say for instance I want to insert some bash code into the org file to evaluate. Until unless you put your code inside those predefined code block, you cannot execute those code block or evaluate those code block inside org file. Okay, so to do that, so you need to add the skeleton of the code block. Okay, so I have, say for instance, I have bounded a key Control X R I. Look at the bottom, it is saying insert from the register. Register is a place like bookmark where it holds data permanently. Okay, so I have some mention here. Look at the leftmost side is the corresponding key I have to press now. To bring this stuff, I press Control X R I. Okay, now if I press the, see, if I want to enter a bash code, I just press B. See, it has entered the skeleton here. Right now if I write org mode code block skeleton insertion. Okay, so if I do Control C and it is asking me whether I want to evaluate it. So if I say yes, see the result, it prints out the stuff I have written between the code headers, which start with hash plus begin underscore src, then the name of the language, where in this case it is bash, right? And you have to enter the code block with hash plus end underscore src. These two, the code block has to go in between these two lines, begin src, end src. Likewise, if I come here, if I do again Control X R I, okay, and if I do say Perl, say P, see, it is, if I write a Perl statement here and do Control C, it will execute like the previous one. Okay, so likewise Control X R I, if I go here and if I press C, see, if I write some rudimentary C code here inside this block and press Control C, it will going to execute this code. So what I'm trying to say, so you can predefine the source code block as per your liking with the specified language. So it will going to play, it will going to help your task easier while doing some code and evaluation with the code inside org mode. There is something called tangle. Okay, it is basically tangling. It is basically evaluating the code inside the org mode file. Okay, so for that you need to mention that tangling space into your .emacs file. Okay, so if I go here and if I open my Emacs file and if I search for register and if I search again register, here, see, this is how I have mentioned it here in my .emacs file. Okay, if you want to mention, if you want to bring up the source code block skeleton, you can, there must be some other way, but this is the best way which have caught my eyes, so I put it inside my .emacs and I'm using it in that way. Just do Control X R I. Okay, Control X R is register, I is inserting. Once I press, these option will show. Right, if I do Control X R I, see, the similar option is getting shown here. Right, the whatever the stuff I have mentioned over there, so you can, so you have, and one thing I think you have to have tangle stuff or bad stuff installed in it, so it can evaluate your code inside org mode file. Okay, so this is very helpful, right? This is very helpful in a sense, so you don't have to worry about all this simple stuff which can be done with a simple keystroke, right? So I hope this will be useful to some people. I've been using it for some time and it is super helpful to me. Okay, thanks for watching.